First things first, find ways to naturally become part of their world. And I don't mean stalking their Instagram to memorize their every move. Please don't do that. I mean, genuinely immersing yourself in something they're passionate about. So when you do cross paths, it feels organic, not forced. For example, let's say your crush is really into photography. Instead of just awkwardly hovering near them with no clue, take a step forward. Join a photography club or workshop where they're likely to be. Even better, if you know they're going to a photography exhibit or gallery, go check it out yourself. But here's the secret sauce. Don't make it all about them. While you're there, actually explore the hobby or topic for yourself. Ask questions like, what's the best beginner lens? Or do you prefer shooting in natural light or with filters? Questions like these not only help you learn something new, but also give your crush a chance to shine by sharing their expertise. People love talking about the things they're passionate about, and when they feel valued for their knowledge, they naturally feel more connected to you. And just like that, you've started a conversation without it feeling weird or forced. The best part? If you're genuinely interested in the topic, you'll have plenty of chances to interact and bond naturally. Now, if photography isn't your thing, don't worry, this works for anything, whether it's gaming, sports, music, or even cooking. Just don't show up to their cooking class with a microwavable pizza and call it a day. Put in some effort and find common ground. Remember, the goal isn't to fake an interest, it's to explore something new, and in the process, find ways to connect authentically. Who knows, you might just discover a new passion while impressing your crush at the same time. The trick is not to fake it. You don't have to be an expert or pretend to love something just because they do. Instead, treat it as an opportunity to learn something new. Who knows, you might even surprise yourself by loving photography, or in my case, realizing I'm absolutely terrible at painting. Either way, you've created a natural way to connect and share moments without it feeling awkward or forced. Compliments are great, but overdoing them can feel forced or even insincere. Here's the secret. The power of a compliment lies in its specificity and timing. When you compliment someone thoughtfully, it shows you're truly paying attention to them, and that's what leaves a lasting impression. For example, let's say your crush shows up with a new hairstyle. Instead of something generic, like nice haircut, try saying, that new hairstyle really suits you. It brings out your eyes. Or maybe they're wearing an accessory you've never seen before. Something like, I love how that watch ties your whole outfit together. You've got an eye for detail. It's not just about their looks either. Compliment their ideas or actions. If they share a unique perspective in a group conversation, say something like, wow, I hadn't thought about it that way before. That's a really interesting point. Or if they help out someone, you can say, that was really thoughtful of you. Not everyone would take the time to do that. Why does this work? Because thoughtful compliments make people feel seen, not just for how they look, but for who they are. It shows that you're observing their personality, their choices, and their effort. Compliments like these linger longer in their mind because they feel personal and genuine. But remember, keep it natural. Don't force a compliment just for the sake of it, or it might come off as insincere. Compliments should flow with the moment, like when you genuinely notice something worth pointing out. Compliments are like highlights in a conversation, not the whole picture. A great one can make their day, but too many can feel overwhelming. Be genuine, be specific, and let your words do the magic. One last thing, don't go overboard. A single thoughtful compliment can go a long way. It's not about saying everything you like about them in one go. It's about timing and being authentic. Compliments should feel like a moment, not a strategy. Keep it real and they'll notice. Let's talk about one of the most underrated ways to connect with someone, mirroring their energy. This works wonders because it's rooted in psychology. People naturally feel more at ease with others who reflect their vibe. It's like saying, hey, I get you. Well, yeah, without using those exact words. Here's what I mean. Like, if your crush is outgoing and bubbly, lean into that energy. Be a little more lively, share funny stories, and engage in their enthusiasm. On the flip side, if they're more reserved or introverted, there's no need to overdo it. Slow down, keep the conversation calm, and show them you're comfortable with a quieter pace. This subtle adjustment can make a huge difference. For example, let's say you're at a group hangout and they're the life of the party, cracking jokes and telling stories. Laugh at their jokes, as long as they're genuinely funny, don't fake it. And when there's an opening, add a lighthearted comment or share something fun. On the other hand, if they're the kind of person who listens more than they talk, focus on asking thoughtful questions like, what do you think about this? Or have you ever tried something like that before? It gives them space to feel comfortable without pressure. Here's why this works. Mirroring their energy isn't about being fake or trying to copy them. It's about creating a sense of connection and comfort. When you match their vibe, you're signaling that you understand them and appreciate their way of being. This makes them feel more at ease, and the conversation flows effortlessly. But remember, don't overdo it. If you try too hard to match their energy, it can come off as inauthentic. For example, if you're naturally more chill and they're super extroverted, don't force yourself to be someone you're not. Find a balance where you can still be yourself while meeting them halfway. Authenticity is key. So, next time you're around your crush, pay attention to their energy. Are they high energy or laid back? Take a moment to adjust and see how naturally things start to click. Trust me, it's a game changer. This is one of my favorite tips because it's all about creating a sense of intrigue. The idea is simple. Instead of putting everything about yourself out there at once, give them just enough to spark curiosity. Think of yourself as a book they want to keep reading, not one where they already know the ending. Let's say your crush asks, how was your weekend? Instead of saying, it was fine, or listing every detail, try something like, it was pretty interesting. I ended up trying something new. Guess what it was? That little twist immediately pulls them in, making them curious to know more. It's not about being secretive. It's about creating moments of engagement where they feel naturally drawn to learn more about you. Or if they ask, what have you been up to lately? You could say oh, I've been working on a personal project I'm really excited about. Watch how they perk up and ask, what kind of project? Now you've turned a simple question into a dynamic conversation. Here's another example. If they mention a movie or hobby they love, you can drop a subtle hint about your interest too. If they talk about movies, you could say, that reminds me of something I watched recently. It had this insane plot twist. I bet you'd love it. Then pause and let them ask, what was it? The key is to share enough to pique their interest without revealing everything at once. Why does this work? Because curiosity is magnetic. When you share little hints about your life, it makes the other person want to lean in and know more. It's a natural way to keep the conversation flowing without feeling forced or one-sided. But here's the thing. Don't be overly mysterious to the point where you come off as vague or evasive. The goal isn't to make them frustrated. It's to keep things light, fun, and intriguing. So balance it out by answering their questions honestly, just not all at once. So next time you're talking to your crush, think of yourself as leaving breadcrumbs, just enough to keep them interested and coming back for more. Trust me, curiosity can be one of your biggest superpowers. This tip is probably the most important one, and it's one that so many people overlook. Attraction isn't about chasing someone or being overly available. It's about showing them who you are and letting them naturally gravitate towards you. And think about it. When you're constantly texting, calling, or always trying to be in their space, it can come across as needy or desperate. That's not the vibe you want to give off, right? Instead, focus on living your best life. Get involved in things you enjoy, hang out with your friends, and invest in your hobbies and goals. When you're genuinely happy and confident in your own world, people will notice, including your crush. Independence is attractive. It shows that you're complete on your own and not relying on anyone else to define your worth. Now, here's the pro move. When you're with them, be fully present. Really listen to what they're saying. Don't just nod along while waiting for your turn to talk. Ask them thoughtful questions, and show genuine interest in what they care about. Engage with their stories and laugh at their jokes, if they're funny, of course. When you give someone your full attention, it makes them feel seen and valued, which is incredibly powerful. But here's the twist. When you're not around, don't make yourself overly available. Let them have a chance to miss you, to wonder what you're up to. For example, if they text you, you don't have to respond immediately every single time. Take a moment to live your life. This tip works because it creates intrigue and respect. When you're not chasing after someone, you're giving them space to realize your value. They'll start to notice how fun and confident you are in your own world, and that's incredibly attractive. But here's the important part. Don't play hard to get in a way that feels fake or manipulative. This isn't ignoring them or pretending you don't care. It's about finding a healthy balance, showing interest when you're with them and staying focused on your own life when you're not. Authenticity is what makes this work. So don't chase, just be present. Build a life that you're proud of, and when they see how happy and fulfilled you are, trust me, they'll be drawn to you naturally. Passion is one of the most attractive qualities you can have, and it's a game changer when it comes to building a connection. The thing about passion is it's not just about what you love, it's the energy it brings out in you that others notice. When you're genuinely excited about something, it radiates from you, and that's magnetic. For example, let's say you're into music. Instead of just saying like I play guitar, try sharing a story about a specific song you learned and how it made you feel when you first played it. Maybe it took you weeks to master, and now every time you play it, it feels like a personal achievement. That kind of enthusiasm, people can't help but get drawn into it. Or if you're into fitness, talk about how it's not just about getting stronger physically, but how it's shaped you mentally. The way you describe the challenges and victories shows them a deeper part of you, and that's what makes you stand out. The point is, when you talk about your passion, you're not just sharing a hobby, you're giving a glimpse into who you are. You're showing that you have something meaningful in your life that drives you, and guess what? That's the kind of energy that makes people want to be around you. The best part is that when you talk about your passions, it's not about impressing anyone. It's about expressing who you truly are. You don't have to be perfect at it or have it all figured out. Passion isn't about expertise. It's about the genuine joy you get from doing something you love. That's what makes you magnetic. It's real, it's authentic, and that's what draws people in. So whether you're into art, photography, cooking, or something else entirely, make sure you share that part of yourself. When you're passionate, it's contagious, and trust me, your crush won't be able to resist getting curious about what makes you tick. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground, but here's one more thing to remember. Don't rush the process. I get it. Waiting for your crush to notice you or for things to develop can feel like forever, but the truth is, rushing only creates pressure, and that's not the energy you want to bring into the situation. Relationships, even the ones that start as crushes, are built on trust, connection, and time, and those things take patience. It's all about letting things evolve naturally. Think of it like a plant. When you water it and give it sunlight, it grows at its own pace. You can't rush it, and you shouldn't try to force it. The same goes for relationships. Sometimes the slower you go, the stronger the connection becomes. When you take your time, you're allowing the bond to form on a solid foundation. And that's way more meaningful than rushing towards something that might not last. Now, this doesn't mean you should wait around forever and hope for the best. What it means is that you should focus on being the best version of yourself and let things unfold naturally. Show up as your authentic self, enjoy the moments, and don't put pressure on things to develop overnight. Trust the process. So if things don't happen right away, don't stress about it. Instead of fixating on the outcome, focus on building a genuine connection with your crush. Let them see the real you and let them decide how they feel in their own time. Relationships that evolve naturally often have a much stronger foundation, and that's what you want. No rush, no pressure, just a beautiful connection that grows when it's meant to. So remember, don't rush the process. Take your time, focus on being the best version of yourself, and let things unfold. The right connection will come when the time is right.